What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Certified Real, back with another video. Today, I'm going to be discussing several things today. Let's see here. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm not sure if y'all can hear me, but yeah. Waiting for y'all to get in. What's the word? Chilling, Brody. How you doing today? March 17th, we in the building. Just gotta make sure I got the, hold on, y'all. I had to make sure I had the right. Yeah, Pisces gang, we in the building. All right, well, I'm gonna tell y'all oftentimes why people don't like Pisces, why people secretly don't like Pisces. I'm gonna break it down for y'all. It's because they think that we're too emotional. They think that we overthink everything. They say that we avoid confrontation. They think that we send mixed signals. These are all the different things that people say about Pisces and to why they secretly hate us. What's going on, twin? What's going on? Welcome. Now, another thing is that they say we like to ghost people. That's another reason why they say, with us Pisces, they say, oh, you guys ghost too much. Now, Pisces in the chat, do y'all find this to be true? And is it for a certain reason why you would? I know I've ghosted plenty of people. I ain't gonna lie to you. But like I say, it happened for a reason. Wasn't like I just purposely just dropped them, if that makes sense. Let me make sure I turn my, sometimes this thing be struggling. But yeah, how y'all doing today? And if you guys would be, considerate is the word I like to say, smash the like button, costs nothing. Now, another thing is, I'm going to give y'all some examples. And I ain't want to just say one thing, then not say another. So, okay, let me see. Oh, I know what I was supposed to. Okay, I got you. And then, let me see what else I got. Okay. All right. And what else I'm missing? Okay. What am I? I'm missing something, but let me just. All right. So another thing. Let me see. You say you don't feel like talking to the same person, the Scorpio. Yeah, Scorpios can be they can be tough to deal with. I will say. What was your experience with Scorpio? It's like me personally, I ain't gonna lie. My worst experience with Scorpio was that they don't really trust people, and then, you know, the way they behave around you, you can't always think that that's the real them because of deception. And why do I say that? Because with the manipulation, like the only way you can manipulate someone is you have to deceive them first. So with Scorpio, especially if they want something, they don't always like to simply ask. They like to take, which means they're more prone to, you know, control. So that's kind of the issue as to why they would not want to act and just simply, you know, control, because they don't like to be vulnerable, as oftentimes I mentioned that they are vulnerable. And it's like they're vulnerable to let me I got my notes. Let me look at my notes, because I know what they're vulnerable to. It's like they're vulnerable to somebody else telling them what to do. And I'll tell you another thing. Okay, so when you look at I was actually gonna use my iPad to go live with, but I guess I hadn't set it up in time. But yeah, if you look at the very things that Scorpio is vulnerable to, because this is why I'm saying it, is the fact that okay, I'll give you guys some examples. Okay, all right, so okay, all right, so if I was to look at it like this, because I want to give y'all some examples instead of just saying, you know, the reasons. Now, if you look at the first thing is betrayals. That's the first thing that Scorpios are vulnerable to. Now, when you look at with the trust issues, okay, so here it's almost like, how do you think a Scorpio will react to a betrayal? In other words, so that's what I mean by they won't be able to take it. So that's why I said they're vulnerable to betrayals. And this ties into the reason why they may give you a hard time or just be difficult to deal with in regards to you getting to know them. Even if you guys are friends, or let's say you in a relationship with one, it still can be like this. It can still feel like the Scorpio is testing you constantly, you know, putting you through all kinds of different scenarios, just things that they're trying to pinpoint whether or not, can they still trust you? Because they always like give you a little trust, and then they'll like test you again to see if they can still trust you, if that makes sense. So it's like, let's just say a close friend, for example, shares a private conversation with others. So when you share something that Scorpio share with you, they probably, like I say, 9 times out of 10, they don't want you telling anybody else that of what they share with you, because it's about privacy. With Pisces, it's more about secrets. But when you look at this, to a Scorpio, you've crossed the line just by you telling somebody something that you guys spoke about in private. Like, even if it wasn't in private, in private to you, but the difference is to that Scorpio, they consider that interaction with you private, if that makes sense. So it's like you can literally, yeah, definitely, Shaquila, definitely, they don't forget nothing, and it's in those little moments where, you know, they can hold grudges against you by you sharing things or talking to other people. Let's say if you guys are friends, and let's say you got more friends or you get to know other people, Scorpio's not a good, they're not into that type of stuff where you got these other people you talk to. They can actually get mad at Pisces for making friends with, several different people, especially if they feel like it was too fast or too soon. And, worst case scenario, they could just shut you out, see, and struggle to trust you again just by you merely doing something and not even knowing that it was it was going to be something that the Scorpio was going to be pissed about. So here they can over time, it could take a while for a Scorpio to trust you, in other words. So You know, that's why I said they're vulnerable to betrayals, because people don't, the problem is that people don't always do things to Scorpio. Scorpio just has this fixed mindset of, you know, what they feel like a friend should be. And it's like, when you do things just because you're used to, you know, this is like who you are, you're not even thinking about whether or not this is going to offend the Scorpio. But then when it does, it kind of catch you off guard. And then it's like, they might be a little nasty and, you know, mean to you in regards to you doing it. Now, another thing that Scorpio vulnerable to is dishonesty. So here is oftentimes, you know, something that Scorpio is real big on is, you know, transparency. And when, let's say, if somebody was to lie about something small to a Scorpio, then the Scorpio just start questioning everything after that. Because if you lie one time to a Scorpio, it's almost like they're not gonna trust you. So that one lie that you told could damage the entire relationship, friendship, you know, whatever. It could be any type of relationship that was built on honesty in itself. But that's, like I say, something they're vulnerable to. They're vulnerable to manipulation. So here, when it comes to Scorpio does not like to lose, and they don't like to feel controlled, and they don't like to feel like, oh, you know, they've been emotionally played by someone or a situation. So here, let's say somebody tries to use, you know, guilt trips to get their way with Scorpio. The Scorpio gonna feel like, damn, you know, you trying to play me. Worst case scenario, it can lead to constant suspicion that can make the whole relationship in itself difficult to, you know, for you guys to stay together, because a Scorpio is like one and done as well. So once they let you go, cut you off, it's almost like that's just gonna make things harder for y'all to even, you know, stay with whatever dynamic you guys are joined to. Now, one thing with this manipulation with Scorpio is that you got to recognize that manipulation early, because if you go into a friendship, or you go into a marriage, or you go into a relationship, if you go into this without setting boundaries, you're cooked. You're cooked, because one thing about Scorpio is they like to, you know, have that privacy. They like to keep everything to the chest. So it's like, if you don't catch on to that manipulation earlier on and not set boundaries, you're going to be in trouble, because it's almost like the Scorpio would take advantage of you. Because if you show any type of weakness, which that's what I mean by boundaries. If you show, let's say you're too nice, you know, you don't say no, you're not going to have a fun time with a Scorpio. Just going to say it like that, because they're going to overstep. They're going to manipulate, and they're going to take advantage of you. So it's almost like you just got to be, you have to be, you got to have healthy boundaries. That's all. That's the best thing to say. Now, another thing they're vulnerable to is jealousy. So here, Scorpio, they could become deeply invested in important relationships. So we all know that Scorpio ain't just going to talk to anybody, bro. They going to only pick and choose between status. You know, you got to have something going on for yourself to really get that attention from a Scorpio, you know, to begin with. So let me see. You said you was, and you said what? I don't know nothing about that, bro. I'm in my car because, like I say, that's what I chose to do, bro. It is what it is. Okay, so another thing that Scorpios are vulnerable to is secrets. So here, a lot of times with a Scorpio, they're very protective over personal information whatsoever. And, you know, they can be interested in your business, but like they're not quick to tell you anything about them. So this can lead to a situation where it's hard to get to know them, because you will feel like you know nothing about them. And also, they'll say they can avoid just altogether opening up to, and in general, they won't even do this with people they care about, if that makes sense. It's almost like there's a lock on that. No, I'm just really, like I say, I'm just explaining this because, one of the things is when you dealing in regards to Pisces, this is why people secretly hate Pisces, because when you look at a sign like Scorpio, the very reason why Scorpio can't take advantage of Pisces is because of those boundaries. So everything that Scorpio is vulnerable to is almost like is a boundary of Pisces. So it's like, one thing is like, you're not going to be able to pull the jealous card with Pisces. You're not going to be able to manipulate Pisces. You're not going to be able to be dishonest to a Pisces. You're not going to be able to betray a Pisces. So it's like everything that Scorpio is vulnerable to, Pisces has this as a boundary. So it's almost like you can, because everything that Scorpio is vulnerable to, they're going to use these things against you. So it's like they will betray you. They will be dishonest to you. They will manipulate. They will be, use jealousy. They will use secrets. They will use revenge. So it's like, it's kind of contradicting in itself based off of what they're vulnerable to, because they don't like the same they don't like the same poison that they can give, if that makes sense. So this is even worse for a person that has no boundaries. You will feel all this coming from a Scorpio. Let me see. May said, maybe your mom said, I'm a Scorpio married to a Pisces, 20 years, never had these problems. I don't believe you. You can't say never had these problems, bro. Never. I don't trust words like never, because that's a lie, bro. You had about some maybe small disagreement. I don't believe that it's been perfect for 20 years, bro. I don't know. No relationship has been perfect for 20 years, bro. Come on, man. Okay, do you think? That's what I mean. Small disagreements can be, what I'm saying is not like, oh, you're going to be constantly just getting into it with Scorpio. It's just when you get into it with a Scorpio, these are usually the underliners. These are usually the reasons why. But if you and your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, if you don't have these issues, well, like I say, you're one of the ones that this doesn't apply to. But there are people out there that get into it with Scorpio, and Scorpios that get into it with Pisces, and it could be over these same situations. All it is boundaries at the end of the day. Let me see. Okay, so when you look at revenge, okay, so here, this could be a situation where Scorpio can remember the betrayals. So it could be something that they remember for a long time. Now they also can harp on this, because I've had situations with my situation a little different, okay? Because this was with a so-called friend being a Scorpio. So me and him was cool at first, but then like things started tumbling down, because I don't know. I feel like I was being tested. I looked out for him, and then like things went left as soon as I started to look out for him. So, in that aspect, it's not just one Scorpio. I have Scorpio family members. I've seen it all, from like, people that my family were married to. Her ex-husband was a Scorpio. It's just like different experience and behaviors. It's not like I'm just saying, oh yeah, if you get with a Scorpio and you're a Pisces, you're in trouble. I'm not saying that. Yeah, Locked Up 2, what's going on? Welcome. How everyone doing that just came in? Okay, so all you said you got a Scorpio. How is it going so far? I mean, it's like when you look at the top 3 signs for Pisces usually is Pisces and Pisces, Pisces and Scorpio, and Pisces and Taurus. Now, if you look at the 4s and the 5s, it could be Virgo and it could be Capricorn. But it's like, you don't really hear too much about those combinations, but it's always pretty much the main 3. Pisces and Pisces, Pisces and Scorpio, and Pisces and Taurus. So at least those is like the top ones for Pisces. But when you get into different situations where you might start to have issues with one another, this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. So it's like, let's say a Pisces, which they are known for now, let's not get it wrong, is that Pisces can enter into a situation without boundaries. At least they don't mention it or talk about them. So it's like, it's not that a Pisces doesn't have them. It's just that a Pisces feels like they don't need them all the time. So they could go into a situation with, no boundary. They might just be, relaxed, chilling, and in their own little bubble until someone tries to pop it, if that makes sense. So it's like, in those type of senses, that a Pisces is too compassionate to be solely solely reliant on their boundaries, because it's kind of like you really can't get to know someone like you would like to if you're always on guard. That's how Pisces look at the situation. And since Pisces doesn't have a fear of vulnerability, Scorpio can, because like I say, they like to guard their emotions, if that makes sense. So they may try to guard their emotions until they feel safe, to open up with them. Now, there's different situations as well. It's like you might feel like the Scorpios are a little rough around the edges. You might feel like it's hard. You might feel like you're dealing with someone that's hard to break open. So that can be a situation. But to a Scorpio, it could feel like that's considered strength. See, not a weakness. Now, another thing that you guys may have. Now, why do I say this? Because of power struggles. It's just that Scorpio will prefer to, feel in control. See, than have it to be, the other way around. Let me see. You said it's going good and bad. We've been off and on for a while. I break up with, and then you said she don't listen, so I broke up with her. Damn. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with the whole. I mean, that can be the issue. Let me see if I could put this over here or something. No, I can't even change. Oh, no, I can't change it. But yeah, I see what you're saying. You said broke up with her 3 times. That could be, like I said, that could be the situation, but it's like, usually, like I say this, like, so the only reason why me and the person that I knew that we started having problems, as far as now, the one that I used to work with, he was more, I really didn't really know who he really was, if that makes sense. Because back then I was a little bit more like, probably wasn't really showing my boundaries like I should have. But it was like, I didn't see him as a threat, if that makes sense, to have those boundaries. But now as I've gotten older, I realized that no matter what, going into any situation, you should have boundaries. You should have them to where people can clearly see them, if that makes sense. Because that's the thing with Pisces, is that you have boundaries, but it's just that people don't know that they are there because they can't see them. And it's like, people will find out that, damn, you know, they might only see your empathy, and they might, and I'm going to tell you why. So it's like, when you, let's say, and I'm gonna wait, just give me one sec. Okay, so let's say when you, it's a reason why. It's like people don't, because Pisces doesn't give off that shell, doesn't give off the shell like Cancer, doesn't give off the protectiveness of, you know, Virgo has that protectiveness where, you know, the way they carry themselves is like, you might feel like you could feel, well, actually, you could feel that coming off of Virgo, them being protective of things like, you know, hey, you know, don't say this about my friend or cousin or whoever, if you were to speak on, you know, speak on them, or, you know, or anybody closer to them, in other words. Okay, so, now with the Pisces, like I said, your empathy, compassion is like the very first thing that people see when they meet you, Pisces. So it's like, this can get tiresome because sometimes you might feel like, damn, you know, I actually do have boundaries. I'm not a pushover. I'm not, you can't just do these certain things just because I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Now, I'm going to tell you, the thing about it is, let's say when people judge you, Pisces. So let's say, like, when people first meet you, and there's another reason why people secretly hate you as well, because they don't, when you, let's say you remind somebody that, hey, don't do this, or hey, you know, I don't like this. And let's say, for instance, a person could look at a Pisces and they can stereotype you as being someone who's kind, forgiving, emotionally available, like how you would sit there and listen to someone have, you know, a bad day or whatever they have to talk about. You would simply listen, and you could be somebody that's known to give somebody the benefit of the doubt. So here, it's like people start expecting it from you. That's where they start to cross the line, meaning your boundaries. Because remember, if a person feel like, oh, they let's say if a person feels like they have gotten over by you giving out so much stuff, meaning, you know, your emotions, you know, forgiveness, conversation, your listening ear. Now, the thing about it is, now everybody's expecting those good qualities about you, Pisces, all the time. Then they start to overlook your boundaries. And then the craziest part is, when you tell people, in spite of all that, you end up shattering their illusion of you because of one word. When you say no, Pisces, that catch people off guard. So let's say you done been compassionate, you done been giving people your ear, all of that. Put it to you like this: all of that of what you're doing, people get addicted to it. Then they expect it. So now at this moment, they don't see any boundaries. Now they're like, okay, I need this every day, or I want this every day from you. But then when you say no, it throws people off, as if everything that they thought of you didn't exist. So it's like, when you look at a situation and it's like, damn, you know, this Pisces been super nice to me. They haven't told me no yet. And then people literally, they it's like they keep trying to take, or just take advantage. Then all of a sudden, it's like Pisces ends up snapping back, and then it's like when they say no, it changes the whole entire experience, because people don't think you would say no, Pisces. Like, because what it is off the dome. That's why I say when you first get to know somebody, you're met with the illusion and the facade. Now, the crazy thing is, it's not their illusion. They're just creating an illusion, because some people are just not that, some people are just not that quick to open up. It's like, they ain't going to start, I need some water. They're not going to start doing a whole lot of listening. They're not going to do a whole lot of, giving, especially with empathy. I just spilled all this damn water all over my freaking lap, dude. Why would they fill this water up to the fucking tea? This is crazy, bro. I gotta use a straw because this is ridiculous. They literally filled the water up all the way to the damn tip, the damn thing, bro. I ain't never seen them do that before. So I just spilled all this damn water all over my freaking clothes and stuff, man. So I'm like super thirsty and everything. All right, so that was, well, I guess maybe the weather's like pretty much, it's not as hot as it normally gets. All right, so moving on, because man, I ain't gonna lie to you, I hadn't drank no water all day, and this shit got my body just not relaxed like I would normally want to be. Okay, now, so the next thing is this. Excuse me, y'all. Let me see. I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know what's going on with, anybody know what's going on with the person? Because I have no idea what they're talking about, okay? But anyway. All right, so when a person first meets you, boom, that's what it is. They assume that you don't have any boundaries. Then when you start saying no, oh, no, I'm not doing this. No, I won't do this. Oh, you start saying things like, not today. So it's like now the person thinks you don't like them. It's like, it's so crazy that now when you start saying no, they think that it's a trip, bro. It's crazy how people treat Pisces, bro. It's like when you say no, they pretty much react as if you're a new person or that you're acting funny. So it's like, oh, what did I do to you? Instead of just respecting the boundary. So people automatically, they expect Pisces to not have boundaries. It's almost like you don't get to have, you don't get to have those once they find out that you have them, if that makes sense. I don't know what. Let's keep it clean in the chat, man. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. No Name. I mean, we're not doing that in here, bro. So, I mean, I don't even know what you're here for. Did the title catch your attention, or are you here to troll, bro? Let's like I say, we're not doing trolls in the lives no more, bro. So if you trolling too much, it's okay to be a little, crack a joke or two or whoop-de-woo, but it's like, if you coming in here with that unnecessary energy, you gotta go, bro. Now, when you look at the whole, okay, so yeah, when you look at a Pisces, that's the thing. People hate Pisces. They secretly hate Pisces because we have boundaries that nobody knew anything about. It's like, well, hey, you could be doing something for everyone for one day. Next thing you know, oh, people will try to get that same thing out of you, Pisces. It's like, it's like they start to expect it from you. Then it's like people get used to your kindness. They want you to be like this all the time with them. Now, you oftentimes can give multiple chances, but at the same time, nobody sees you setting limits. So now it's like the person apologizes, keeps doing the same thing, and then it's almost like they end up realizing that, damn, they didn't give me another chance this time. That's why you can never, ever, ever assume that you have control over a Pisces, bro. Because they have limits, bro. They set limits when you think you're taking advantage. So don't abuse this, because it could be a situation that you can avoid conflict. So all of a sudden, people can think that you're running from fights or confrontation. They can think that you're timid because, oh, you're just protecting your peace, Pisces. So here, people will think that, oh, because your boundaries aren't obvious, meaning, oh, I can't see them clearly, he or she must not have them. And this is why, Pisces, you always end up putting people in their place, setting them straight. Oh, and it hurts too. Oh, it hurts them because they ain't see it coming. They could look at the situation and say, damn, I didn't know this person had it in them. Like, what? It's like, well, why would you think that? Why would you think the person didn't have it in them? So some people mistake compassion for weakness with Pisces. Not only do they take your kindness for weakness, they take your compassion for weakness. So anytime you show any type of emotion or just empathy, that's what it is. All in a nutshell. Anytime you show empathy, that's what it leads to. People assuming you have no boundaries. Now, this is the one reason why they hate. This is the reason why people secretly hate. I'm talking about everybody. I'm not talking about just signs. I'm talking about everybody secretly hates Pisces because Pisces has boundaries that nobody can see. Because this is why, I'm going to tell you why. Let's say, for example, a friend just keep asking you for favors, Pisces. Pisces, can you do this? Pisces, can you, loan me a couple dollars? Can you give me that? Can you open the door? Can you help me with my homework? All these different favors pulling you in different directions, right, Pisces? So here, let's say you help 5 times without complaint. Now, by the 6th time, you finally say, I can't. So instead of the person respecting it, oh, now they hate you now. As if you did nothing. As if you never helped. So here, instead of them respecting it, they act surprised or they accuse you of changing or switching up or acting funny. All because they do not respect your boundaries. See, they don't want you to have them, Pisces, because when you're, why is this mosquito in here, bro? Oh my God, bro. I hate mosquitoes, bro. This fucking thing got to die, bro. My bad, y'all. I knew I was getting bit by something. I just didn't know what it was. But I don't even think I killed it, bro. It is hot in here. That's probably why. Oh, God. It's like a little cold today. I don't know. It's like a little... Wait, there he is. Let me see something. I did not feel like doing this shit today with all these... Trying to kill a damn mosquito, bro. Fucking kidding me. I need like a piece of paper or something, bro. Maybe I'll use this book. It's been working up a sweat just sitting here trying to kill this little... Burning all these calories trying to kill this damn mosquito. Oh, you dirty motherfucker. There we go. Die. Now you made me fucking rip a page out of my book. Jesus Christ. Been getting free blood. You been getting free blood out of me all day. Like you had a blood donated, giving blood, whatever they call that. God, man. Now I need to turn the air on all these freaking distractions. It's like trolls come out of nowhere. Now they coming through the mosquitoes. All right, so I'm back, man. Okay, so now let me see. Really gotta be an old head, bro. Really. Why would you ask? This is my question to you. Ask me what the stream is about when you can clearly see the title. If I'm wrong, let me know. If the title is not there, you guys, let me know. Okay, another thing I'm gonna say is okay, getting back because I lost my trail of thought. All right, so instead of, like I say, instead of a person respecting your boundaries, it's because they don't want you to have any, Pisces. I say that to say, usually when people get used to how you treat them, because one thing with kindness is it's something that you can't go out and buy, if that makes sense. So it's very valuable to have it. So people love it because it makes them feel good, makes them feel accepted, makes them feel heard. And it's probably, I would say, it's one of them type of things that it gives a person a special kind of attention, if that makes sense. Now, let's say when you look at this whole people trying to take advantage, because this, I'm gonna tell you, this is why people hate you. This is why they secretly hate you, Pisces, because, bro, do you think that once you tell them no, oh, they're gonna be angry? Oh, they're gonna be so angry. So then what does that mean? They're gonna try it again. And then just to be told no again. This is why you end up fighting the same people that you helped out. It could be somebody you looked out, you could have got them off the street. They could have been homeless or just going through something. Now you become the enemy, but they become your hidden enemy. See, because it's somebody that you once helped. But the problem is they don't like your boundaries. They don't like your limits. And then the fact that you don't see, the fact that you don't do things because, in regards to people pleasing, like you're not gonna like just, do something because somebody simply asks, or, someone tries to use intimidation. It's not gonna work. Remember I said you can't manipulate a Pisces, so people they'll revert to that when they realize a simple, it's just a simple gesture, or just a way of just simply asking you for a favor. Then they'll try to be slick about it next time because you told them no. And then they realize that you say it again. It's like, oh, well, the manipulation's not working. So then they want to just leave it to you having something against them rather than, hey, this person really has boundaries. Remember this, because Your boundaries help you realize who really has your back, Pisces. Who's really your friend. So I always say, like, make sure your boundaries are easily seen, because you don't want to, like, be helping somebody and then later on you begin to realize the whole time they was your enemy. See? Because they were never going to accept your no anyway. And if you don't, I'm going to tell you, when you first meet people, you got to say no. You can't, sometimes even if you really want to help somebody, you simply can't, Pisces. I would say you shouldn't, because like, it's different if, like, let's say it's family or someone close to you, or, you know, someone you should help because, hey, that's your son, your daughter, that's different. But if it's somebody that's not akin to you, they're not family, and they're just simply out there, you know, they're a stranger, they don't even know you, and they're like, yo, can you do this for me? Nah. Like, giving friends handouts just for no reason, it's like those type of moments where you know they're going to think they took advantage of you, because they won't even do the same kind act to you. So I always say, like, a person's always looking for a way in. That's how they become a snake. So it's like, as soon as they get past a boundary that they thought was there, or they assumed that it should be there and it's not, they're going to think that they did something to make you give them that ride home. They're going to think that they controlled you in such a way, like they finessed you and punked you into giving them something that they wanted from you, which is sick. So that's how you know people begin to take your kindness for granted. You become emotionally drained. It starts to build resentment, and then eventually you end up cutting them off. See? So the lesson behind this is that compassion without boundaries can lead to burnout. See? But if you set the healthy boundaries, those can make, those can protect your peace, in other words. Now, I want to say one more thing, is that, see, with empathy, people can't see your boundaries, because at that moment, you're just willing to help. You're not really thinking about, hey, you're not thinking from a selfish standpoint. You're not thinking about yourself when you're showing empathy. It's more about the other person. And that's how people assume you don't have them. And it's crazy, because you have to use empathy when necessary, bro. Can't use it with everybody, because people oftentimes, they mistake your empathy for absence of boundaries. And I'm going to tell you, Pisces, don't even lie to yourself. This hurts. This hurts, because this will hurt you. This will hurt you in the worst way, Pisces, because you literally, like, I've seen this with some Pisces women. Like, my mother's a Pisces, so, like, I know this for sure, that sometimes you could feel like you should have done more for a person. Oh, you might have a cookout, barbecue, and you start making all this food for people that they could be family or not. But then, like, some people out of your family members probably shouldn't be getting a plate, bro, because they don't even fuck with you like that. They don't even like you. But you will still cook, and, hey, y'all can have this because you're doing this from the kindness of your heart. But these people think that they're really getting over, if that makes sense. So here, just because someone's compassionate, it doesn't mean that they're available to tolerate disrespect. So that's why I say that people might look at you, Pisces, just hearing the mere fact of hearing that you're a Pisces, they stereotype you as being empathetic, compassionate, and understanding. So here, they already know that you see the good in others. At least you try to. At least they know, oh, this person likes to see the good in people, that, you know, their potential. So here, that's when people start to assume, because remember, people will start to assume that you will always be this way, because when you show empathy, they think that there's no boundaries. They think that I could get more of this anytime I want. Because when you show empathy, they already know you're not going to say no. That's why when people see empathy, they automatically assume it. See, assumptions are the worst thing you could do with Pisces, because the most powerful thing about Pisces is that they don't need boundaries to say no. It's cold-blooded. Because it's in a Pisces nature to end every cycle anyway. And that comes from the same compassion. Pisces doesn't have to have boundaries to say no. So even when you don't see any boundaries, that Pisces still will cut your ass off at any moment, bro. And that's the mystery of Pisces, is that you might think that you're running the show. You might feel like you're in control, but sometimes the Pisces makes you feel that way, in case you didn't know. Because Pisces destroys egos, bro. You got to understand, compassion and empathy destroys egos. So a Pisces just literally feeds your ego, but then what you think, when you think that you're being fed, you're destroying yourself. So you gotta understand, what was the Pisces purpose of even doing all that for you for? What's to end your cycle? It's like we attract people that feel like that. Broken people that haven't had any touch of reality. It's cold-blooded, bro. Oh, okay. You know what? Well, I don't know why you said that, but like I say, that's not even, you know what? I got you. Let me go in here and do this. But don't come in here saying stuff like that, bro, because that stuff is not even cool, bro. But yeah, another thing is, I'm going to tell you what it is. People get accustomed to your kindness. They get accustomed to your kindness. So here, this makes it easier for you, Pisces, to end their cycle. And then on top of that, people like to treat you like an obligation instead of a gift. Because they don't understand that you do everything because you choose to do these things. These kind acts, with these gestures, it's almost like they think they're doing it. They think that they're controlling you. But remember, the most powerful thing with Pisces is that Pisces helps you be yourself. So if you're selfish, if you have this egotistic type of mindset where you feel like you're always running the show, Pisces just gives you the illusion that, oh, you're running things. And guess what? Until your cycle ends. It's cold-blooded. Because every time, remember I said, you fall for the illusion, you're cooked. You're cooked. And then when the Pisces makes you think that you've won, when the Pisces makes you think that you're winning, Now you're fooling yourself the whole time. You thought that you were doing. That's why people hate Pisces, because they realize I was never in control. I was never I was never taking advantage. If anything, the Pisces just led you down a rabbit hole. Now you can't even find your way back. That's the worst feeling, to feel like, damn, somebody made you think that you were running the show. And then they just snatch the keys from you, and then, you know, they end up cutting you off and blocking you. Your cycle ended, fam. I mean, you know what? I mean, y'all trolls, I mean, come on, bro. Don't ask nothing stupid, bro. You know, it don't even, like I say, don't ask nothing stupid. Now, another thing, let's say, for example, a coworker just keeps asking you to cover their shifts. Now, I know this may have happened to you before. And why? Why would they ask you? Because you've done it before. So now they're trying to, you know, they're trying to let it run its course. They want to start the pattern. So here, you finally decline. Now, what happens to them? They get offended. They get offended because they were unable to what? Get you to do it twice. Or let's say it's not the second time. Let's say it's the fifth time. The whole mere fact is that they were trying to create a pattern. You cannot create a pattern with Pisces, bro. You just can't, bro. Pisces are very unpredictable, bro. At any time, they can literally detach, bro. Emotionally. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you why. They felt like doing it the first 5 times, but guess what? The 6th time, the 7th time, they don't feel like doing it no more. And guess what? Oh, I'm not in the mood. I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it. And a lot of people is not ready for that, bro. Because they get addicted. They get addicted to your empathy, Pisces. Your empathy is like a glass of wine. See? It's like a glass of wine. It's like a drink that quenches the thirst of someone to the point where they want more of it. But when you say no, it shatters their illusion of you. Oh, shit. You told me no? So automatically they think, oh, you must not like me anymore. They take it to the extreme and say, wait, did I offend you? Why are you mad at me? Or all because they didn't see your boundaries. So now once you take control of the situation, they realize they never had any. And they realize they never had any influence on you. They never had any influence on you. That hurts worse. That bruises their ego because, if anything, they know you fooled them. They know that you had the control the whole time. And that crazy thing was that you wasn't even trying. So people feel manipulated emotionally by you, Pisces. That's why I say anytime you think you're controlling Pisces, you're manipulating your own damn self. But the thing is, you try to blame it on Pisces because you're salty. See? You're salty, so you don't want to feel that for yourself. You want to project and make it and blame the Pisces for it and say, oh, you're mad at me because you're still trying to justify yourself. You're still trying to make yourself feel better, like you're still in control, like you're in control when really you're not. But it's a reason why Pisces don't allow their boundaries to be seen clearly. And I'm gonna tell you, because okay, so I said all right, so I'm gonna tell you, because the thing is about mirroring, you're not gonna show the real you unless you think something. See, unless you think you have control. Now, let's say, what the hell is going on with my connection, bro? All right, so let's say if a Pisces goes into a situation, more than likely, they may want to hide what they're feeling, okay? So here, they may hide what they're feeling to protect themselves. But here's the thing. At the same time, what is the Pisces? What do they want most is peace. So they do not want to get in any sort of conflict. They want to simply avoid it. So this is why Pisces doesn't always let their emotions be seen clearly. Now, when people come in contact with you, Pisces, by you behaving like this, they see this as an opportunity. Like, oh, like you don't care. They figure, oh, you're cool with it. Oh, you're cool with me tagging along. You're cool with me getting this. You're cool with listening to me vent. You're cool with this. You know, all these little things. So here, a Pisces may do this simply because they don't want to feel misunderstood. They don't want to burden other people. They prefer peace over confrontation. They need time to understand their own emotions before sharing them. And they don't want to show too much. So here, this is why a lot of times, just because a Pisces ain't showing you things doesn't mean it's not there. So let's say a person, which they always do, they always ask Pisces, oh, are you okay? And the Pisces is like, yeah, I'm good. Why are they asking that? Because they're trying to process everything. See, you don't understand. It takes time for a Pisces to process things, but because of them not saying anything and not giving off anything or too much away, it's like you start to think that they're disappointed by something, and that's not the case. And a Pisces feel like you wouldn't understand anyway, so I don't even know why you're asking me that. See? Now, most of the things, like I said, with Pisces is more about secrets. So here, they would just keep everything to themselves anyway. That's why I said that's a boundary, because you can't see that. But based off of how the Pisces was conducting themselves with you, you assume that, that you would just get everything out of them. That's why I said Pisces has boundaries, you just can't see them. And it's like, that's the worst thing for people, because, bro, Pisces does that on purpose. It's like, it's just that when it comes to, okay, so when you look at it in this way, it's all it is because Pisces doesn't want to, Pisces doesn't operate out of their ego, okay? At least not all the time. So here, if a Pisces was to operate out of their ego, it would be rare. They may be considered a dark side Pisces. Now, the reason why is because a Pisces would rather show the opposite. The Pisces would rather show kindness. See? Now here, they don't feel the need to announce every limit that they have. Now, this is why I always say a Pisces will only show their powers when necessary. It's like a superhero, a police officer that has a utility belt. They're only gonna use certain things at a certain time. That's why they don't feel the need to just be like on guard all the time. At least they have their utility belt with what they need, but they're not gonna use it unless they have to. So here, they can oftentimes observe before reacting. They believe people reveal themselves through repeated actions. So that's what a Pisces does, is allow you to make a fool out of your ass. They sit there and observe before reacting. They let you reveal yourself. Then they show you where the boundaries are, where you fucked up at. It's cold-blooded. And people see this. They see this when it's too late. See? When it's too late, they realize, oh shit, damn, this Pisces knows everything about me, saw through me the whole time. Because the Pisces will move accordingly. Once you reveal yourself, you're cooked. You fell for the illusion that the Pisces trusted you. You fell for the illusion that you were manipulating the Pisces. You thought you were getting over. The whole time you were just revealing yourself. That's what the illusion does. Really shows that you were too nice. You were everything that you thought the Pisces was. It hit different. Because the whole time, when you go along with something, and when you think you're taking advantage, you show who you really are. See, it's like your ego. Let's say somebody gave you a ride. I'm going to just use that. And the Pisces didn't charge you gas money. So you think, oh, I'm going to ask tomorrow. Now you just revealed yourself that quick. Anytime you do something twice, that's the real you, cold-blooded. That you do something twice, that's you. That's the real you. So it's like if somebody do something, let's say they did it, okay, they offered you a ride. They didn't charge you gas. Well, a realistic, logical thinking person will say, well, hey, I'm not going to take advantage. I'll find another way tomorrow, but thanks for the ride for today, dude. You know, it's like they know it's just a one-time thing. Now, I'm talking about a normal person. But somebody that thinks they're taking advantage, oh, because you didn't offer them gas the first time, reveals themselves. Shows that they're greedy, they're selfish. They're a user. Why would a person go to a restaurant if they didn't like the food the first time? Come on, man. They must have liked the deal they got because they're back. It's the real you. You reveal yourself the second time. Bro, anytime you come back, funny thing is the Pisces already knows you're coming back. Because it's not, oh, who else would get that deal? Oh, you got a free ride. It was 10 miles away from wherever you guys came from. Whoop-de-doo. So now you're like, oh, shit, yeah, I got a sucker on my hands. Yeah, man. I'm going to ask this guy again for a ride. I don't want to pay for it. I don't want to pay for gas and I don't want to do this. You don't think the Pisces knows that? And then you come back the second time. Hey, Pisces, think I can get that ride again for $10? Well, basically you don't charge me this time again? The Pisces is like, no. Oh, man, wait. So you said no? Yeah, I said no, man. Oh, did I do something to you? Like, did I rub you the wrong way? No, I just said no. Because it was the real you. Now you're offended. Because you don't want me to know that, hey, I was going to take advantage of you. That was the whole intent. That's why I said when you draw the illusion, it reveals intentions. It's cold-blooded. Once you show the real you, you're cooked. And you can't go back and say, oh, well, let me go back and Well, as a matter of fact, let me go back through the cycle. No, you started it off already. That's why I tell people, remember, they only got to do it twice to reveal who they are, bro. And that's why once you fall for the illusion, bro, you can't even use the facade. The illusion is stronger because it allows you to reveal your intentions, your true intentions. That's why people hate Pisces, because they realize that they feel like they've been finessed. They feel like they've been cheated by the Pisces, because they realize, how the hell did how did you set me up like that? Because you revealed my hand without me revealing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they will be secretly just pissed with the Pisces, because they'll be like, bro, you took advantage of me. It's like, well, how did I take advantage of you when you came back after I helped you out? That's the whole thing of why I tell people Pisces doesn't need to have a shell. Doesn't have to have, see, Pisces has traits of all the different zodiac signs for a reason. So all it means is that you can't just do something that you would normally do for yourself, thinking that you would take advantage of it from the Pisces, because a Pisces gonna give it back to you. The same energies. It already has a piece of your it's like a Pisces already got a piece of who you are, your personality anyway. So that's why people get confused, because they be like, wait a minute, this is a Pisces. They're supposed to be compassionate, empathetic, but they just told me no. That's why you gotta see, Pisces is a reflection of all the other zodiac signs. That's why it can reflect back to you your own true self. It's almost like a Gemini that hates being themselves. So a Pisces reflects it back to them who they really are, and they can't stand it, bro. Because it's like, oh, I'm two-faced and I'm being fake right now. Oh, hell, you're showing me this. I'm seeing this. I don't want to see it, even because it's the truth. It's cold-blooded, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, no problem, Brody. Now I will say another thing is, okay, so why would a Pisces not give you closure? A Pisces doesn't give closure because they already know they don't have to. So here, giving closure is a part of control in regards to the other person. So that's why I said when a Pisces knows, hey, I don't have to announce my exit. See, because you played yourself. That's the whole thing of ending. When you end something, you don't explain anything, because you don't have to. You ended it already. That's like you cutting off your car insurance. You make a call to the insurance people. Hey, hey, take the car insurance off. You don't have to explain why and go into detail. Hey, turn it off. I don't need it no more. That's it. I'm discontinuing my service or my membership, my subscription, whatever. No closure. Because you ended the cycle. That's why I tell people you have to take the control within your own self and end it. And people realize that it's cutthroat with Pisces. That they don't look back. When they cut you off, it's over with, bro. You no longer have access. So it's just like them ending the contract. Ending the contract, if it was the subscription, membership, that's what they're doing. Now, why? It's because Pisces moves in silence. You probably thought the Pisces was soft. But the funny thing is, how can Pisces be soft when silence was the boundary? It's cold-blooded. You just can't see, because the type of boundaries that Pisces has for themselves is different, because you can't see it from a distance. So You probably were assuming, because remember I said, there's so much room for assumptions when you assume that a person has no boundaries. You leave room for assumptions. Because that's why a person takes a chance. But then they end up messing up when they cross the line. They end up revealing themselves, their true hand. See, that's why you're not supposed to make assumptions. Because now you're going to do something stupid just because you assume because of what it looks like. So that means you're taking a risk with the illusion. And I just told you guys, the reality of it is you're going to lose. You're always supposed to question illusions. You're never supposed to take a chance based off of an assumption. You're going to be cooked. That's why I say there's no point of taking a risk when you don't know the facts. When you assume, you make an ass out of yourself. Just for assuming. Who told you you can assume? Yourself. But how can you assume something you don't really know what the hell is going on? So you just end up going for it just because of your own selfishness. Tell people that, bro. Most people that assume are selfish. Because they don't want to wait to find out the facts. So I always tell people like, bro, you really don't know that when you really meet somebody, you are never supposed to go off the first thing you see, the first idea. That's why you got to ask questions. You should always question everything before you join it. That's why I was saying with Nolan Wells, he was clearly a damn Leo fan, because he went into that situation not questioning nothing. Because of his pride. He went into that. Oh, I can already tell what kind of dude Nolan Wells was, bro. He ain't questioned that situation because he was probably more than likely proud. Went into that situation knowing what it looked like, but didn't give a damn. You guys, people like that. Yeah. I know how it looks, but I'm still going. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be the only black guy there, and I'm still going. It's just like when you dealing with Leos, bro, they be having this big personality type of, swagger, to where they go into a situation, they look at themselves as being a celebrity to that situation. They like the attention. So if they go and there's cameras, people taking pictures and whoop-de-whoop, big crowds, they're attracted to it. But that doesn't mean that it's safe for you to do so, no matter who you go with. Now, let me see. Now, when you look at silence, see, people don't understand. Silence is a boundary. But it's crazy because you can't see it. And that's the thing what people hate about Pisces. They secretly hate this about Pisces, is that why can't I see your boundaries, Pisces? That's how people feel. And the crazy thing is there's all different types of boundaries that people can't see about Pisces, bro. So for instance, let's say like when you look at Pisces just simply not announcing anything is the worst one. And that in itself is a boundary, because now, instead of arguing with you, the Pisces just become quieter. Then all of a sudden, what this do? It creates the distance. Put it like this, the Pisces become more distant from you. So now, this review, what does this do? Remove the access that you had to them. So that's why, what do we call this? The Pisces become unavailable. Now, the silence is what you run into. So what's the point of crossing the line at this point when you're met with a boundary. Because now you can't get to the Pisces. You cannot get the Pisces' attention. Once they become silent, you can scream, you can get loud. Guess what? The Pisces is not going to stop. They're going to just stay silent. See? So here, when you start to see, the thing is, when you assume the Pisces is going to repeat themselves, they're not, bro. Once they are silent, that's it. Once they cut you off, that's it. Once they stop talking, that's it. They don't do the pattern situation. They don't do the repeating what they said or what they've done or what they're gonna do. They're not gonna repeat it. Nope. So that's why I say that once enough chances have been given, that's it. So one thing that the Pisces does, because I'm gonna tell you, all a Pisces need, the number one boundary for Pisces is silence, bro. Once a Pisces becomes silent, that's it. No other boundary can stand or hold its grip. So a Pisces don't need to really, that's why I said a Pisces doesn't need to have boundaries. All Pisces need to do is have that one boundary, silence. Because silence still means no. You can't make somebody that's quiet talk or speak, which means you can't cross the line. In itself, the silence is the distance, bro. I tell people silence is the distance. That's why when you are loud, you're still trying to get that person to speak, and they're simply not. Because they're so far away, they're not close to you. The access was already removed. So here, why do you think the Pisces was able to do this? They read the room already. The access was denied. They stopped explaining. So yeah, they stop explaining. So that's all they need is the signs. Now I'm going to break it down. So if you look at, some people say actions speak louder than words, but according to Pisces, silence speaks louder than words. So that's why a Pisces ain't got to say nothing. That's it. A Pisces stop talking, that means it's over. See? So boom. You can't take advantage of a Pisces that's silent. And the thing about it is that's their loudest boundary is silence. So silence is the only boundary that the Pisces feel they need, because if someone doesn't respect them without repeated explanations, then they simply become unavailable anyway. And the thing about it is, why people hate Pisces, they secretly hate Pisces because of this, because silence is the boundary that most people never notice anyway until it's too late. It's cold-blooded. And it puts you in the position of what? Assuming things, because you think the Pisces will come back. And once you realize the truth, once reality sets in, oh, damn, he been gone. She been gone. And the crazy thing is, people think that the silence is a silent treatment. They think that is confusion. Nope. It's a decision. When you make a decision, what does that mean? End of the cycle. Means it's finalized. Means it's time to detach. It's time to depart. So here, to a Pisces, the boundary was never invisible. You just ignored the signs. It's cold-blooded. That's why I said when a Pisces goes silent, don't assume nothing changed. See? Because sometimes everything did. You just didn't notice. You just wasn't paying attention. You just didn't notice. You were so busy being selfish. See, because silence is how some Pisces protect their peace when words stop working, bro. That's why I say when a Pisces say it once, that's all. The only time it only have to be said once. They ain't finna keep on reiterating, going over the same shit they already done told you already. It is what it is. I mean, yeah, definitely. So like, another thing is when you look at a Pisces when you look at a Pisces that behave like this, most people think it's almost like a river. It's like a storm that, once the storm is over, it settles and you see all the damage that's left over. It's like, damn, you could compare it to a damn tornado or a damn hurricane in such a way. Like if you was to look at a Pisces being compared to a storm, what do y'all think it would be? Because to me, I would think it'd be a hurricane. I think it'd be a hurricane, and it's like it could be a tornado, a thunderstorm. Because here's the thing. He said an F5. Yeah, definitely. Because the thing is, most Pisces are considered calm on the outside, but then they have the deep emotions underneath, which is down in the depths. They're quiet until they're pushed too far, and then their silence oftentimes carries more meaning than their words. So here, you may not notice the boundary until you've already crossed it. And that's what the thing is. Can you imagine, bro, you've already crossed the boundary and the Pisces is done with you, and you still don't see it? You can literally just, start floating around the Pisces and don't even know the Pisces is already done with you already. It just sometimes take people a little time to realize it, that, wow, I no longer have access to this person. But they feel like the thing is, they still feel connected to you, Pisces. So here, that's why I said the most dangerous storms aren't always the noisy is sometimes they're the ones you never saw building in the first place. That's why you can't mistake calm waters, for shallow depths. A lot of people think, oh, just because it's calm here, oh yeah, there's no storm in there. Hey, you might start thinking that you're safe. That's why I said Pisces draws the illusion, bro. Because the thing is, that's the thing that's left when you assume anyway, everything from which you revealed your true self to, the illusion is just going to speed things up. And all the illusion is what you think the Pisces to be. You assume that, oh, I could take advantage of this Pisces, only to find out that you've lost the advantage to a Pisces. You lost the chance to get to know a good person. It's like now the cycle has ended. So now you don't even get that blessing because I'm going to tell you, if a Pisces is in your life, you are supposed to look at them as a gift. But once you ruin that, then it's like, you ain't going to get another person like the Pisces, bro. Now, another thing is that with that illusion that you're faced with in regards to yourself, because you got to understand, that's what you see. You see the illusion. It's not like the Pisces is purposely trying to deceive you. You see the illusion because you assume the Pisces is one way. Bro, this cat has came back over here, bro. Damn, bro. I don't know how that's, man, it's something to this, bro. I don't know how this cat then came over here. But yeah, it's the same damn cat that keep coming over here, bro. Around this hour, this cat just keeps, bro, bro. It's something to that, bro. It's like, I'm gonna have to figure that out, bro. But it's like this same hour, that cat, the same damn cat keep coming through. I don't know, maybe this is his, maybe his little trail or something, his little way back to where he going, or maybe, I don't know, man. I don't know. But, yeah, so y'all tune in for part 3. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.